Okay, we're post-match at Meadowbank. Wanderers, really good record of victories under the lights over recent times, coming to an end this evening. Defeat 1-0 to Kidderminster Harriers. Joined by Wanderers manager Mark White. Mark, get your assessment on that one this evening.
Well, first of all, just to say a big thanks to both sets of fans, Kidderminster fans, especially coming all that way. Obviously not having a great time right now, getting behind their team, creating a good atmosphere, so I appreciate that. And of course, all of our fans, thank you so much for packing the place out once more on an evening game. Sorry we couldn't deliver. You know, so really appreciate both sets of fans coming. I thought the story of the day was you've got to credit the Kidderminster team and management team. They came here and decided they were just going to basically try to full press us, turn the ball on us, win all their duels, and they'd done that for the first 45 minutes. And I think the story of that game really is about the first 45 minutes because it was hard to predict how they were going to play because they've lost their last 5, they've changed their formation 2-3 times. We had an inkling they might do it, but we gambled on them playing a different way. I certainly would have picked a different side, even though we've got extremely limited choices. We need to say that. I would have picked a different side had I known how they was going to play. We would have worked on a different style of play. But yeah, the credit goes to them for executing their game plan first half really well, really strong in high areas, winning their duels in midfield. So if we won the first contact, they'd win the second. And first half, they're much the better team. And to be fair, like it was, the management team were literally willing. You know, they showed a lot of bollocks because they've only lost one game, including tonight. There's only been one game in more than one goal in all season with this lot. And that told you a little bit about them. You knew that there was probably an element of them being a little bit unlucky, maybe not quite as clinical as they want to be. You knew that there was areas of their game that obviously were really suited to the division. You could see that in their results and their stats. So, yeah, I picked the wrong team based on the fact I thought they played differently. And obviously second half, we adjusted at half-time. And, you know, you'd count us unlucky not to get a point, really. Jules rattles a crossbar. Jason has 2 really good chances, need a bit more composure. You know, we haven't got a right winger on the pitch. We haven't got changes. We've got the bench was a goalkeeper, 3 defenders, and a centre forward tonight, and boys played that really shouldn't have played. So we don't want to make excuses because we've won games recently and been in a similar position, but obviously we did have a lot of limited options, both starting the game and both during the game. So I feel like we made a decision at half-time that we were going to really make them defend. We were going to put Harry on. In order to sort of almost best form a defensive attack, we were going to push them back, try and win those half battles, get off the bat when we needed to. And in fairness to us, we had umpteen corners, throws in dangerous areas and balls in the box. And another day of the week, we could easily have got the equaliser and then got the old eruption and got the winner. Could easily have happened. But the game for me, you could argue that based on the 90 minutes, you know, we could have got a point, but equally you wouldn't dispute them getting 3 points, really mainly for that first half performance. That's where I see it. So credit to them and their management team, and they showed real character in coming to Meadowbank and against an informed team, and so it's a fair play to them.
And just with that double switch at half-time, Mark, you've acknowledged there, looking to obviously change the game, Ottaway coming on. But with Bobby Joe Taylor, was that one where obviously he picked up a yellow card in the first half, Bobby, but also we acknowledge he's coming back from injury as well. So was that how much of that was a tactical one, how much of that was a personnel one?
I thought Kildy had a slow start, but he's had no minutes and he's had to play a lot. He's had to play the last 2 games. and I thought we needed the height in there, so that was tactical.
In terms of Kewley and Ottaway, the change there,
It was to bring on more height, really, which I think the change is, it was clear to see that they had an impact in the game. Always difficult chasing a game against a team that is fighting for their lives like today. Bobby, I felt like he'd been injured. I felt like we had to pick our moment, we had to pick our subs, and I felt like Seeger would be able to get through the whole game. So it was really a case of, do you know what, we're going to sacrifice Bobby. So that's what we've done, and I was conscious I didn't want him to, pick up an injury second half. He's coming back. It wasn't ideal him starting tonight. So game of two halves, I think you could argue, but they was really good first half.
Man of the match this inning was Joe Kirk, and just a word on Joe. Obviously came in last week against Ebbsfleet and was the man of the match in that game on the road, but coming tonight and really was a real positive on an otherwise obviously overall disappointing evening. Really, and Joe, obviously having just played at Chesterfield in the opening day, it's his first appearance at Meadowbank this season.
Yeah.
So kudos to Joe for how he's come back into the team in this last 7 days.
Yeah, he's come in. He's done a great job. He's come in, done a really, really good job, and which is great. We're really, really good. We're really pleased with him, and I said to Tom Blair, Joe Cook, and Dan Pybus, what we're looking for. I think if I was critical of our boys, I thought that their approach to the game might have been a little bit complacent, even though the opposition played a way we didn't plan for. When the ball was being put on them in that full press scenario, they didn't win their duels, they didn't communicate well enough as a team, they didn't compete well enough, and it took the introduction of Harry and Dan into that central area, Gallagher, to change that situation, and then we started winning our share of duels. But yeah, Joe's done great. Joe's done great. A lot of the boys have done great in recent weeks, but we'd all be disappointed tonight to not win a home game off the back of such a good run on the road. But we are, no excuse, we are threadbare, minimal changes, and we are playing on heart right now. We saw it second half, not so much first half.
And further to that, Mark, we go again Saturday. It's the 5:30 kickoff, live on TNT Sports. First game at Meadowbank on TNT Sports. And just looking ahead to that one, Mark, in terms of personnel, what were you hoping and expecting for between now and then? Obviously, we've got the training session Thursday as well.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Briggs and Tony Craig will join in Thursday. We hope they'll be available for that game on Saturday, but we really do. Again, we can't rush them. It's a long season. FA Cup the week after. Just want to pack the place out. We're proud to many towns it might be normal, but to Dorking it's it's very much only the second time in forever there's been TV cameras in Dorking, and we're looking forward to. That's what we've brought to the town and to club. All the committee, the volunteers, everyone that works really hard. We've brought this level of football to the town. Barnet are going to be tough opposition. It would be great to get a win in front of the TV cameras. We're going to have to count the troops on Thursday, Dan, and we're going to have to see where we are. The issue at the moment is players, really. That's the bottom line. But if we can pack it out, that would be ideal.
Yeah, obviously a bumper crowd here for the late kick-off on Saturday. We go again. Mark, thank you for your time, and we'll catch up end of the week.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, lads.